So I found my Teflon tape. It was right where I left it. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to do is make sure you clean off all this garbage. And I can make a pretty quick work of that with my handy little it's an onion knife. I don't know what that means. Pops open. I can just cut this stuff off. It's very sharp, so I'm going to be very careful. I don't think you want to see my blood squirting onto the camera today. And just run it along the threads a little bit there to peel it up. Throw that in the trash can. And if it's been a little bit back here still. I'm not going crazy. I don't want to damage my knife. But so I'm just going to be careful. It should come off pretty easily. Just using the tip here, getting the tip up underneath and into the groove. And I'll put that there. Not the most exciting thing in the world, watching Scott in the shower. A better way to do this would be to use like a stiff nylon brush. Then you could just run it over. And I do try to only use tools that you might have laying around the house. I don't want you to have to spend all kinds of crazy money on power tools when they're not really needed for some stuff. And if you don't have a nylon brush, chances are good you'll have a pocket knife laying around and could. And that does it. Now I'm just getting rough with it. Alright, there we go. That's pretty good. Make sure you get up underneath the parts that you can't see. And that feels fairly clean. Now I'm just running my fingernail through it. And there it is. There's one last little bit I can peel here. I don't want anything in here really when I'm putting the new tape on. I kind of could use a stool a little bit. Yeah, there's all kinds of gunk on this side, isn't there? I don't know what's been used on this thing in the past. This is one of the original fittings. It's been in the house since I bought it. Someday I'm going to rip this whole bathroom out. For now it is what it is. And alright, so now I've got my Teflon tape. This is really important stuff to use. You want to make sure that you thread this in the direction of screwing in. So we screw in this direction like that. So we want to wrap from left to right, starting at the bottom, and you don't want to pull too tight, and you want to come up, and I saw a little bit of dirt in there, so I'm brushing that off. And you want to come up just a couple threads per wrap. I think you want to get about 4 or 5 wraps, because I've noticed that in my other shower I kind of remember doing this and I didn't have enough tape and it went on a little bit too far and ended up having to clean the whole thing off again. You want to get it nice and tight, but not too tight so you break it. And again, I'm going to flip the knife open. That's the one nice thing about this particular kind of knife, is that when you have only one hand free, it's easy to get the knife open. Right? And it's a nice pretty green color too. You probably can't see that, but there it is. It's just a nice little handy thing to have in your pocket. And so earlier I mentioned that oh goodness, I don't have a sock handy. Alright, hang on just 1 second, be right back. Alright, gotta get a sock. And I'm going to have to use one of my own socks. Oh well. Alright, so earlier I mentioned that I didn't think one of these would fit. At least certainly not my standard wrench just didn't fit. But I took a look at this, and just the very tip of this crescent wrench does fit. At any rate, I think I can get this on here, and I think I can get enough purchase through the sock with it to have to get a nice grab on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sock on over this. And you can see there's that's where they've ground it down so that I can hopefully get purchase on it with this wrench. And I'm just going to take it like that. I'm going to pinch it around. I'm going to try to remember where my flat spots are. Pinch that around. And I'm going to squeeze the wrench on. And then I'm going to just tighten this. And I think that does it. Alright, so a quick point about this particular manufacturer is that they don't always like to stick their rubber seals in all the way. See that? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick my finger in there, and I'm going to seat it all the way around, rotating it around. Remember, crescent wrench. Alright, so there we go. And should be able to just feel my way with my fingertips onto here. That's not going to do it, is it? I'm going to have to take my sock off. And it looks like I had a little incident with my tape. I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off there. And just rub it around. The tape's really super thin, and it'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and get this started myself. And wouldn't it be funny if this just didn't even fit on here anymore? Man, I'm not convinced that this is the right size. Oh goodness. Oh wait, no, there we go. There it is. There we go. And it's screwing on. It's getting tighter as I go. And now the part's turning. That is not the faux nut. Not to be confused with a donut. And I'm going to go ahead and put my sock back on there and pinch it. And I'm going to just get this on there. And hopefully I'll be turning this the right way. I'm doing this lefty, so who knows what will happen. My head will get everything all turned around. I may just forego the sock and say the heck with this fella, because he's tricky. Yep. You know, I'm going to send this video over to the people of Moen, and I hope they can maybe shed some light on what's going on here. Always turn your crescent wrench towards the jaw. It's important that you do it that way. In this particular instance, not a big deal. But were I putting any sort of considerable pressure and force on the wrench, and I didn't have it. Alright, let's get this on here. I'm going to use two hands. Yeah, you know what? I'm just not getting a grip on it. That surface just ain't big enough. So we're just going to do it without. And there we go. Back to plan A. Now I just kind of back it off a little bit, squeezing just slightly, just ever so slightly. And I'm going to do that until I feel that it starts to give a little, and there it gives. Now, there we go. Now I'm just going to give this about a couple turns. And that feels good. All right, let's just see how this works. Look at that. See, that's much better. And it's got a nice little lever here. Change the shower head settings. It's kind of, you can see that these center points here leak a little. It's good. It's all good. Yeah, it just drains out. All right, this is perfect. I like it. And it doesn't look like I damaged anything. Threads finish looks good. And I had to do a little bit of experimenting there on the fly. But it's done. Hey, honey. You can take a shower now. A little word of advice. If you're going to take the shower head off, wait until after your wife takes a shower in the morning. Not that that happened here.